audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Greetings from the Philippines to the world. We are on Facebook Live on Eagle News and Net25 TV and also on our streaming site eaglenewslive.com. Watch us on our YouTube channel at Net25 TV. I am Cesar Vallejos. Welcome to Open for Business. Join me discover the latest news and information in business around the world. Stay ahead of the curve from vision to action. In the age of COVID-19, businesses need to be contactless and must provide convenience or comfort in the new normal. In the process, the MSMEs must be transformed digitally to ensure growth and to adapt to changes during this pandemic. A software solutions company is offering technology solutions that can be used to transform their businesses. Multisys Technologies Corporation is also pioneering the industry in helping the country transform in what David Almirol coins as a smarter Philippines. The CEO and founder of Multisys Technologies Corporation will join us when Open for Business returns. Stay tuned.
Do you want to earn a degree while you work? New Era University now offers Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, or ETIAP. ETIAP is an educational scheme that recognizes knowledge, skills, and prior learning obtained by individuals from non-formal and informal education experiences. It is implemented through deputized higher educational institutions like the New Era University that awards the appropriate degrees. Programs offered are the following: Master's Program, Masters of Arts in Education, major in Educational Management, Master's Program in Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts in Science, major in Political Science, Bachelor of Arts in Science, major in Mass Communication, Bachelor of Science in Education, major in Filipino, major in English, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with majors in Human Resources Development, Marketing Management, and Financial Management. Beneficiaries must be Filipinos who have attained at least high school level of education. The program is flexible and you don't need to attend regular classes. Expanded Tertiary Education Equivalency and Accreditation Program, or ETIAP, is under the supervision of Dr. Nilo L. Rosas, the University President, and Professor Anita P. Santos, Director of ETIAP. For more information, contact the following: Cristina Moreno, 0995-138-0786, or email cvmoreno@meu.edu.ph, or Arlene Sarmiento, 0906-298-9150, or email cedctl@meu.edu.ph. What are you waiting for? Let New Era University be your partner in achieving your dreams.
Open for Business is back, and with me is the CEO and founder of Multisys Technologies Corporation, Mr. David Almirol. Good day to you, David.
Good day, Cesar.
We have a very exciting discussion this afternoon because I know that your company's vision is towards a smarter Philippines and greater digital transformation. This is very interesting when you say smarter Philippines. Maybe if you can give us a background, what exactly do you mean by smarter Philippines?
It's quite a broad word when you say smarter Philippines, but basically you become smarter if you learn from something, right? So I think with the growth of the digital transformation in the Philippines, meaning we need to innovate, we need to add more seamless system solutions, whether you're in business or whether you're doing multiple kinds of interaction as a business owner. and embedding a maybe a contactless, or maybe a cashless, or maybe a convenience in terms of like management. So smarter means you're adding more seamless operation to your business.
Now, David, I meant really meant that this is very exciting because I think the last time you guested in Open for Business, it was pre-COVID-19 pa. So pagkatapos ng after ng when we had this pandemic, a lot of things changed already, and even in our plans, even in the business plans of major companies, that has been changed. I was interviewing other CEOs and thought leaders in Open for Business, and some of them said, especially during the quarantines, that was their time to reflect on their vision, on their vision and mission, on their business plans. Is this also the same with Multisys Technologies Corporation? I know that as a forward-thinking company, Multisys is always several steps ahead of the competition because of your technology nature, because of the nature of your business. But is this also your experience with Multisys Technologies Corporation, where you had to revisit your vision and mission, where you had to step back and say, teka lang, do we still have the same business model that was originally planned? Or you had to really step back and rethink your business strategies, David?
Well, with the pandemic, we don't have choice but to look on the new normal change of process operation now, Cesar. So imagine the worst word that I need to comply is when someone told you, hey, our process was changed, and you have to like change everything as well. So yun yung medyo kailangan gawin, ano? So ang ginagawa namin ngayon talaga, we have to rethink, we have to step back a bit and think na how could we survive with the new normal. So as a software company, syempre ang unang-unang nasa isip namin, yung mga software ba natin naka-ready ba sa bagong new normal? Diba? Kung dati physical interaction yan, yung system na yan, we don't have choice but to make it more online, no? Make it more contactless, make it more seamless in a way na hindi kailangan ng physical interaction. So, hindi lang change of process kasama na rin dito yung iisipin mo na para hindi sayang yung mga ginawa natin, kailangan nating i-upgrade. You need to upgrade it. You don't have choice but to upgrade it. And the worst scenario is you have to totally change the whole process kasi hindi na pwede. So example, yung mga systems namin na parang physical payments, okay? Yung talagang pupunta ka doon para magproseso. Now, you have to make sure na may paperless ka na rin. So, kailangan mong i-embed mo yan. So those are the things that we have to think. And of course, yung work attitude. Ano? Kasi dati sa Multisys, close collaboration kami. No? In our community, we are in a closed-loop environment. We are in a community interaction. So mabilis lang. But now we have to work from home. So we have to rethink the strategy and we have to be very creative in making sure that we can still adopt the new normal and the new workplace that we have to work into.
David, off-cam kanina, we were talking about, since you mentioned online, since you mentioned about rethinking and embracing this new normal, and a lot of this new normal involves digitalization, internet. So far, with the data that is available, and if you can cite them, ano yung outlook mo dito? Parang, do you think the internet users growth, social media users in the Philippines will continue to grow, and what was the impact of the pandemic in this? And I remember during the quarantines, David, I thought that since I was quarantined, I was working at home, I have lesser work. But on the contrary, I was busier during the pandemic, and I never even realized I lost the sense of time. Like say for example, you start at 9 o'clock. Eventually, you're still working at about even 12 or beyond, or 1 a.m., 1 o'clock, because you will somehow lose that sense of time. So, can you comment and can you cite some figures on internet usage, internet penetration, social media usage, and ano yung impact ng mga bagong figures na to ngayon na do you think this will continue to grow? And siyempre, can you also comment on the readiness of of course, we work with the government, and as a matter of fact, Multisys is really supporting the government in terms of its technology needs. But what about the impact of the readiness also of technology, of the utilities, in terms of really making sure that the growing social media users, the growing internet users in the Philippines will continue to be somehow sustained in terms of the availability of technology and telco requirements?
Oh, well, lulobo yan, ano? So actually, before the pandemic, in my around January, the internet penetration is like 70 to 72% already. So malaki na yan, wala pang pandemic that time, ano? And we have like 73 million users in terms of like internet, usage sa Pilipinas. Wala pang pandemic that time, Cesar, no? And if you compare the social media usage, nag-increase tayo ng almost 6% against last year, before the pandemic. And imagine now that people are staying at home. Walang ibang tinitingnan yan kundi cellphone lang. Diba? Yung social media now. So I think in our estimation, it will double actually the percentage of increase against last year. So we expect to have at least 10 to 15% increase sa paggamit ng sa social media. So I think in terms of readiness, we are ready because we Filipinos, we are talagang internet user na tayo Cesar. No? So hindi na tayo maninibago pa. Pero ngayon, because of the change, lahat ng negosyo, they are now doing their own digital play. They're left and right. They launch a lot of online platforms and online solutions. So people are now shifting, okay, from the physical thing na dati social media lang. Ngayon, pati negosyo, naka-digital na rin. Di ba? O, dati, ang payment cash. Ngayon, papasok na tayo sa digital payment. Last year, in our platform, we have like 5% lang who's doing digital payments. And we expect to have at least 20 to 25% raise in terms of digital payments in the next 12 months. Dati, even in the government, dati physical yan Pumipila pa sila, di ba? Pupunta sa City Hall, di ba? Ngayon, hindi na When we launched the Smart City of Mayor Isko Moreno of Manila, you don't need to go to City Hall now to process your business permit, real property tax. So, mukhang no choice Siyempre takot kang lumabas, sinong may gustong pipila ka pa sa City Hall. So, I think talagang lolobo talaga yan. And readiness, Cesar, I think hindi tayo mahihirapan because we Filipinos are really into online transactions already.
Mm-hmm. Now, David, that's very interesting kasi with my interviews also with small businesses, yun yung challenge bago nagka-pandemya. Yung mga una, some of them are saying or preparing themselves mga a year or 2 years from now, they can start in 2021. So, when you talk of digital transformation, yung roadmap nila, medyo mahaba-haba pa ng konti. Kasi like say, di ba, big word, digital transformation. So, hindi yan pinapansin dati ng mga businesses. Di ba? Parang, what is that? So, it's like, okay, it's a buzzword, digital transformation. Only the telco companies are talking about that, di ba? Or technology companies like you. Pero ngayon, kahit yung nagtitinda na, kunyari may maliit na kiosk sa mall, napilitan na rin na mag-digital transformation. So, kunyari, ako, may mga nanonood ngayon na small businesses. Kahit sila, napipilitan na magkaroon ng digital transformation. One is like all you have to do is to create your own Facebook page, di ba? And then you let the ordering online. So sa iyo bilang as one of the pioneering companies here in the Philippines who are into software development and offering a lot of solutions, which we will discuss later. Gaano ka importante sa maliliit na negosyante na to think also of digital transformation? And when you say digital transformation ba, is it, something is it something expensive? Do you really have this a lot of investment in terms of computer needs or new cell phones, just to say that you are digitally transformed?
Yes, remember our first talk before is we're talking about creating a future-proof technology. Di ba? Ganun lang yung pinag-usapan natin. But the future is now. The future is now. So meaning, slingshot eh. In fact, if you ask me, sino ba yung nag-transform talaga sa Pilipinas in terms of digital transformation? Actually, it's not even the government, not even any private, not even multi-sys. It's actually COVID-19. So no choice eh. So now, since the future is now, you don't have choice but to adapt it to survive. Having now a digital play is about survival now. Cesar, kasi you cannot operate. How could you sell? If you're just waiting in a certain corner and look for someone to go to you. No, you have to put that in an online perspective. Diba? How could you do transactions now? Hindi lang sa government, pati sa private, kung papupuntahin mo pa rin siya sa'yo. So you don't have choice now but to have now an online presence. So, kaya in terms of adapting this, I think dahil kailangan, necessity. Remember my word before? It's like online transactions is no longer an option. It's already a necessity. So you don't have choice. Or else mapag-iiwanan ka. You cannot survive. Diba? You cannot also, that's why kami sa multi-sys, kaya we're quite fortunate kasi we have ready platforms that we can easily provide to our clients so that they can now operate in the new normal. The word new normal is already the future. So ito na yung future. Ito na yung kalagayan natin ngayon. Sitwasyon natin ngayon.
Now, David, I'm interested to know what industries has been affected and what are the emerging industries or products or service that are booming because of the new normal. Being one of the leading companies and you as a pioneering CEO that has this very forward thinking vision and about digital transformation, what are those industries that you think has been disrupted, and what industries naman or products or services are the ones that you think will make it in the new normal? Kasi let's face it, David, 'di ba? There were, 'di ba, sabi nila, in any disaster or in any calamity, there are always, like in any diversity, there are always gainers and losers. So can you mention, because you deal also not only with government, but with groups of businessmen also, sino yung mga gainers and losers natin sa nangyayaring ito sa pandemya?
Marami talagang tinamaan, especially obviously kung sino yung gumagamit ng physical interaction, they are the ones who's being disrupted, right? So, of course, nandiyan na yung hospitality, that was affected talaga yan. Tourism, affected yan, di ba? So that's why these are the industry that the only way for them to survive is to stop the pandemic. Without stopping the pandemic, talagang medyo magsasuffer yan in a longer perspective. But may mga gainers, So, of course, anything about technology, diba? Anything about e-commerce, yeah. That's why we're working with a lot of e-commerce business now. And ang medyo matindi rin ngayon, ito yung tinatawag nating, e-commerce is not only e-payment, kasama dyan yung mga delivery services. Kasi you have to move things from point A to point B. So you need people to move that. You need to use to move that. So kailangan pa din yun. Ito yung mga necessity. Another one na medyo nag-slingshot dito is ito yung mga tinatawag nating mga e-wallets, di ba? So ito yung mga payments. Kasi dati, pera, cash, ang dala-dala mo. But now, you have to use your card, you have to use your digital wallets. Kaya naglipa na ngayon ang daming pay, yung mga puro pangalan, puro pay. So ang dami ngayon yan. Kaya kami naman, excited din kami kasi nga, we have a ready solution. Instead of you building it, we can give it to you. And then you can run your business already immediately. So ito yung mga affected ngayon, ito yung mga losers. I don't think naman na 100% loser ka agad. Kasi may mga, limbawa, in kitchen, sa mga restaurants. Ngayon, we're building a lot of cloud kitchen na Cesar. We're building, hindi lang talaga siya online grocery, talagang online restaurant na yung ginagawa namin ngayon. So ngayon, imagine mo cloud kitchen. So you can now, having a menu, nasa bahay ka, nag-order ka ng steak, nag-order ka ng masasarap, tapos darating sa'yo, talagang lutukan pa, mainit-it pa. So talagang they are serving now at your doorstep. So parang talagang online restaurant ang dating. So it's all about creativity. Even yung mga tinatawag nating losers dati, now they are now coping up with the new normal. And they're becoming more creative and more resilient to adapt. Okay, na ito yung kailangan ko para makapag-operate pa rin ako. So I think yung survival mode ngayon through technology, mas malaki yung tinatawag nating gainers as long as you are more creative.
Mm-hmm. Pero may question there, David, is yun bang mga maliliit na negosyante, how can they digitally transform? Kasi di ba baka doon sa mga examples natin na iba, these are more applicable to medium-sized or large corporations because they have the resources to transform. So in this case, lalo na yung hindi naman, kunyari, maliit na negosyante na hindi naman sa kalakihan in terms of really investing in, with many resources. Paano nila may i-apply yung tinatawag mong 3 C's? I think you earlier in the interview you mentioned about contactless, cashless, convenience. So for small businesses with, let's say, for example, 3 to 5 people, and a lot of the audience of Open for Business are really catering to those because it remains to be a fact that 99.5 or 6 or 7% of the industry, the enterprise in the Philippines are composed of small businesses. How can they apply, and how valuable is the use of these 3 C's in their business strategy?
Yes, of course. Lahat yung mga hindi maka-afford to have their own systems. That's why a lot of companies like Multisis, we provide platforms. No? So meaning these are ready-made technology that they can freely use it. They can just be a subscriber without them building their own mobile app, without them building their own website. So we allow them to upload their products in it, okay, for them to operate without spending any technology. So ito yung ginagawa din natin ngayon, Kasi we understand that, as mentioned, more than 90% are the small enterprise, di ba? And they cannot afford to, to have their own digital platforms to use as their own brand. Kaya ang ginagawa ngayon, karamihan, is like Multisis. We provide them now their own digital play, okay, na libre. Ibigay mo ng libre, gamitin nila. Halimbawa, karinderya. Okay, you can just go to our multi-store platform and use that, and you can now sell online. Then kami na yung bahalang mag-integrate yan kung saan-saan. Then we can be your marketing arm also. Kasi you don't need to have an advertisement so that people will know you. Kung saan-saan ka mag-open ka ng website. Example, I'll give you a very good example, Cesar. Now with the mobile app of Mayor Isko, we have the Go Manila app. Sa loob ng app, dati puro government lang ang laman. Okay, yung business permit, real property tax. Ngayon hindi na. sa loob na yun, yung ginagawa namin ngayon, nandun na rin yung mga karinderya nila, nandun na rin yung mga nagbebenta sa talagang it supports now the business people so that we provide an avenue for them to do business. For example, yung mga walang trabaho, di ba, rider, halimbawa, may motorsiklo naman dyan, hindi niya naman gagawin sa buhay niya kasi tinanggal sa trabaho. Example, now, pagpasok ka sa mobile app ng Go Manila, uy, pwede na ako mag-apply as delivery guy, di ba? Uy, pwede na rin pala ako maging electrician, pwede na rin pala akong maging plumber, pwede ako maging helper, etc. So you have to provide an avenue for them to still operate without spending at all in terms of technology.
Wow, this is interesting. I think we have to pause for a few reminders. When Open for Business returns, we'll talk about the multi-sys platforms that are being done and are developed and are being offered by Multisys Technologies Corporation. Open for Business will return. Stay with us.
Congratulations! Lloyd Sarausos!
Pinangako ko rin sa sarili ko na kahit anong mangyari, kahit ilang beses madapa, babangon at babangon ako para abutin ang aking pangarap.
Eric and Jenny Morandarte!
Makikita mo yung pagmamahal kapag magkasama kayong kumakanta.
As na kumakanta kami ng mula sa puso.
Purple Heart!
Here I am joining Tagisan ng Galing, hoping that the judges will also see the star in me.
Tatlong contenders ang magtutunggalian sa kantahan. Abangan natin kung sino kina Lloyd Sarausos, Eric and Jenny Morandarte at Purple Heart ang unang kapwesto sa quarter elimination.
Tagisan ng Galing Part 2 is co-presented by Cooper, an expert in air conditioning and electromechanical, also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Cooper, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Unlad Incorporated International, fight against global poverty. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Our sponsors, BDO, we find ways. JRC Industrial Sales, RS Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Chris Rapp Enterprises, Victory Carpentry, DOP Asiatic Pest Control Services, and AUB Aspire for the Future in partnership with New Era University ETAP, Expanded Tertiary Education, Equivalency and Accreditation Program. Embrace Cafe, we embrace differently abled persons.
Open for Business is back, and still with me is the CEO and founder of Multisys Technologies Corporation, Mr. David Almirol. David, it was really very interesting for you to tell us more and tell us examples of how small businesses or even yung mga regular na mamamayan, paano nila how can they digitalize or how can they participate or transform themselves or embrace digital transformation. But to small businesses, maganda siguro ma-clarify pa natin, what is the value of digitalization in businesses naman? Will this lessen their operational cost? Will this increase their efficiency? What is the value, or what are the benefits if they go into digitalization?
Yes, of course. If you discuss about the value of digital transformation, is actually more on cost efficiency, and you have kailangan hindi ka magastos, kailangan you know how to save money for you to operate. Another one is, of course, you have to increase also the efficiency. So, kailangang maayos-ayos yung... kasi, if you are doing a digital, play already, hindi pwedeng technology mo pumapalpak or else people will not use you. Kaya importante yung efficiency. And I think exponentially, you have to lessen also yung human error. Kasi, if you're doing a digital play already, hindi po pwedeng masyadong maraming physical interaction. Kasi, or else, hindi mo kayang i-monitor yan. So you have to make sure that you have the real-time monitoring, you have the analytics to see it, And kailangan mo ding maayos-ayos yung data storage mo. Kaya cloud services is now going up. Na-slingshot ngayon ang mga cloud services. Kasi you cannot use a notebook or papel-papel ngayon. You have to use the internet to process, di ba? And of course, the easier, you have to adapt also in a, of course, the ease of doing business din, di ba? Kailangan mai-provide mo yon. Yung convenience, dapat pinapakita mo yon na yung value, kaya meron kang digital play kasi mas convenient kapag ikaw yung gamitin nila kasi may teknolohiya ka. So, once you have that, the efficiency, the cost efficiency, and you have the, of course, you have to increase also the productivity by using the digital platforms that you have. I think that's the way for you to have the value, okay, in terms of digital transformation.
Now, David, you mentioned earlier during the first half of the interview, may mga businesses na hindi naman na kailangan magsimula sa wala in terms of embracing technology and in terms of transforming them, their companies towards digitalization. As you mentioned earlier, there are some companies like you who offer that available technology for them to use. And some of the offerings are even free. So, halimbawa ako, small businesses, I don't have to start from zero to be able to deliver my service. I think one of the key words here in the pandemic is, diba, nung medyo, when I still had hair, David, we call it partnership. But now, they call it collab or collaboration. So I think one of the beauty of Multisys now is that you are engaging companies, small businesses, or even the large enterprise to collaborate with you. So, very, very specific, I heard that you are also launching some platforms that are available for businesses. It could be MSMEs or the large enterprise. Maybe, David, if you have time to discuss each one of these platforms, how can MSMEs avail of this, and what are the features and benefits of each?
Yeah, actually, we launched a lot of platforms first quarter and second quarter this year kasi we know the needs. And we have to focus on the necessity. Ano ba yung kailangan? Ano? It will always go back to that mentality. Ano bang kailangan? And we discovered na ang daming disconnect kasi, the disconnect of a lot of technology na hindi nag-usap-usap. Kaya ang hirap, walang seamless operation. So I met my team and then sabi ko sa kanila that the priority of Multisys now is stitching up the gaps. So our job is to stitch these gaps so that our partners can operate. For example, the delivery services, you have stitched that to the payment services. The payment services, you have stitched that to the analytics. And you have to stitch that to the SMS messaging for notification. And then you have to stitch that to the accounting of the company. Then you stitch that naman to the overall general management of the whole thing. So, maraming disconnect. Kaya ang ginawa namin, we launched a lot of platforms. Okay, so una, I think 4 months ago, we were able to launch the Textbox platform. Textbox platform is Textbox and SMS system. It's an SMS blasting system. So, I'm sure di mo kaya na mag-text isa-isa. If you have like 1,000 customer, I'm sure di mo kaya i-text lahat sila na, uy, mag-order na kayo online. Di mo kaya yan, di ba? So, dapat para may robot ka na taga-notify sa mga kliyente mo na, uy, si David may paninda, no? O pumunta ka lang sa david.com, example lang, mabumili ka na ng paninda niya. So, ang importante kasi ngayon is the communication. Kahit na hindi ka nakikita, dapat you need to have your presence. And SMS nowadays is actually our lifestyle. Di ba? Buhay natin yan eh. So that's why we hit the platform. And Textbox is a self-service. Pupunta ka lang sa textbox.com, di ba, mag-register ka lang doon, then magagamit mo na yan for your business. With or without system, with or without any website, any mobile app, you can use that now. Then you can be creative to use that, okay, to get more clients and customers. Another one, ano ba yung kailangan? Nakita namin, uy, wala nang pumapasok na bata sa eskwelahan. Di ba?
Wait, David, sorry. I have to ask lang on Textbox. So, this is a tool or this is a software where you can get more potential customers, correct?
It's actually an SMS messaging system.
Okay.
So meaning,
Yeah, so in short, like say for you to be able to touch base or email blast or text blast your customers, you have to have their numbers, correct?
so normally, meron kasi lang data na kasi ang mga they have their own data na, they have their own gathered data.
Correct.
So normally yan, especially now, may mga logbook tayo, di ba? Mapansin mo ngayon, that's why we even launched our own Safify platform sa digital logbook system. Pagpasok mo sa restaurant, kinukuha na yung contact number mo, correct? Right?
Yes.
So hindi sayang yon kasi hindi lang mo kinuha, futuristically, pag may mga services ka na, nanonotify mo na sila. So para ka nagpapapansin lagi na, oy, may product ako, oy, meron akong bagong item, etc., etc. So it's more on like creating a more, a relationship to your clients.
So in short, all I have to do if I have all these numbers of customers, instead of texting them one by one, all I have to do is I'll input all this, like say I have 1,000 numbers. All I have to do is put it in Textbox and I compose one SMS or text message and it goes to them, especially if I have one new product, for example.
Correct. So automatic na yun. And you can even schedule it. No? In fact, even hindi siya manual. Let's say you have your own system. So you can consume the API of Textbox para wala ka nang inputting. So it's a third-party system na pwede mong gamitin. You can now do the shake hands of your technology to do SMS messaging. In fact, hindi lang yun, pati marketing side, hindi lang yun, pati yung mga thank you messages mo, pag nag-birthday siya, i-greet mo naman. 'Di ba? Ngayon kasi dahil mahirap nang hindi ka mapansin kasi because we are in the digital era, kailangan meron kang closeness sa customer mo.
So it's really more of personalization. Pero ang tanong ko dito, David, is does it also have this kind of unsubscription? Like for example, okay, ayoko na dito. Like say let's say I experience a negative experience in this restaurant. Now I wanted to unsubscribe so they cannot text me anymore. So is there also a way in the system that sees that that your customer wants to unsubscribe you, or at least that's a way for you to reach out to them, so to tell them that okay, I'll give you a better service or I can even refund what you paid? Is there a system, a process in the process flow where that can be remedied, David?
We are just a platform, so whatever the company needs to do, if they put their own unsubscribe, sa kanila na yun, hindi na sa amin.
So, but that can be customized.
It should be. They have to respect also their customers, kasi, di ba? So it's their, di ba? They say you have a website, di ba? Then you gathered data, and you use Textbox now as your SMS platform, okay? But dapat in your website, you should give the authority of your users to unsubscribe. You have to give that freedom to them. Kami, platform lang kami. Technology lang kami para mag-send lang ng SMS. But we are not the one actually storing the data. It's actually you. It's actually you're the one gathering the data.
Correct. Wow, this is interesting. I think this is one of the services that we need. Okay, now let's move to other. Let's move to the other needs. I think we left on this students a lot of online education. What specific platform has been developed by Multisys on education?
Actually, we're working. Talagang matinding trabaho namin yan kasi we know even my kids, they are studying from home. Hindi sila working from home, they're studying from home, so we don't have choice but to adapt also. And nakita namin na wala pang best practice ngayon in terms of like e-learning, so more likely talagang pitchy pa din, so ang ginawa namin, we have to adapt with the new normal. Paano ba yung proseso? Paano ba yung gagawin ng magulang pag mag-e-enroll? Paano bang gagawin ng magulang pag magbabayad ng tuition fee ng kanyang anak? Dapat cashless na yan, contactless na yan. Paano naman mag-aaral yung bata na kahit hindi pumapasok sa eskwelahan? So we're able now to create now an end-to-end school management system. Of course, priority namin dyan yung e-learning. Para face-to-face, virtual face-to-face na yan. So hindi na talaga siya physical. So in-innovate namin yan. That's why we're able to launch our Schoolbox platform. And then take note, we have now the online enrollment system. So it's a self-service system na any school, pwede mag-subscribe sila sa Schoolbox at pwede na silang doon ilagay yung kanilang estudyante para yung system na rin ang bahalang maningil, di ba? Pag yung tuition fee, di ba? Para wala nang interaction masyado yung magulang. And then of course, kasama din yan tinatawag na auto notification. Nagre-remind na rin yung system na oy, parent Cesar, bayaran mo na yung tuition fee ng anak mo. I-click mo lang tong button na to. Pag click mo yung button through your phone, o pwede ka na magbayad na rin kahit nasa bahay ka lang. So these are the things that that we're able to embed in our Schoolbox end-to-end solution.
Okay. Now, when you say Schoolbox end-to-end, for our viewers to understand, when you say end-to-end, from the start of the process up to the end of the process. Example, when you say start ba, mula ba sa enrollment ito, David, hanggang doon sa sabi mo nga na payment na or pagkuha na ng grade of the student or the teacher. What's the entire process? Will it start from, is there a module in the Schoolbox where a person or a student can enroll as well, and that enrollment process is part of the end-to-end solution?
Yes, so especially yung phase 2 namin, talagang mula enrollment hanggang graduation. Yun yung target namin.
Wow.
From enrollment to graduation. But of course, ang priority na namin ngayon yung necessity. Kaya inuna muna namin yung e-learning, di ba? Saka yung online enrollment. Yung dalawa na yun, yung online enrollment, para you can still, kasi how could the students do e-learning kung wala ka namang estudyante? We have to provide you an online enrollment platform so that you can promote your school. You have your own website, you have your own mobile app, diba? So that students and parents can enroll their kids, and at the same time, same platform yun na rin gagamitin nila to log in for them to study. So it's actually an end-to-end. Kaya one single platform, you can do the enrollment, okay? You can do your quizzes there. You can do also the virtual meeting there, and then you can also pay online there, and then you can also see your grades later on, and then etc. And then hanggang mag-graduate ka. So it's an end-to-end process. But again, depende yan sa eskwelahan. Minsan gusto nila e-learning lang, o ito lang yung kukunin niya. Diba? So it's up to them if they would like to avail for an end-to-end or maybe just one of the feature lang ni Schoolbox. O pwede naman.
So
pwede.
parang modular siya. Pwedeng
Modular.
makuha lang niya yung isang part. Now, my question is, how is the Schoolbox different from a regular LMS? Yung tinatawag nila, di ba, na learning, I think that is that learning management system. Or Schoolbox is already a learning management system. So, di ba, yung LMS, they can adapt their curriculum, their module, their syllabus into the LMS, and then that is what the students will learn from. So ganun din ba yon? Is this Schoolbox as customizable as any LMS?
It has a content management system. Ibig sabihin, kumbaga bahala silang magpasok ng kanilang mga syllabus or kanilang mga lessons. Diba? Let's say if I'm the teacher, diba, I can now put my videos in it, my lessons in it, etc., etc. So it's a self-service system. Hindi kami yung magpapasok ng lesson. Okay? Yung eskwelahan na magpapasok ng lesson. Again, we are actually helping, okay, also the LMS, okay, for them to operate with the new normal. Okay? Aside from automating that, nakasama na dyan yung mga tinatawag nating mga payment system natin sa loob, di ba? Notification system natin. In fact, meron na rin siyang Textbox doon para mag-notify kung may pasok o wala yung mga estudyante, anong oras ba. So we're able to, again, as mentioned to you, we are stitching up the gaps, You have to stitch up the gaps for you to have a more seamless operation. Kasi wala nang physical interaction.
Okay, now we have the Textbox, we have the Schoolbox. What other needs were you able to develop and that can help the MSMEs?
Again, we go back with the necessity. Ano bang kailangan ngayon? Lahat ng tao, we are health conscious now, tama? And I'm sure, and not only that, you cannot operate without safety ngayon, Cesar, right? Safety is very important. Hindi pwedeng mag-operate nang hindi secured yung mga empleyado mo. Hindi ka pwedeng magnegosyo kung hindi secured naman yung iyong mga customer. Hindi ka pwedeng magnegosyo kung hindi secured yung kakain sa restaurant mo, hindi secured yung mga empleyado mo. That's why we have the Healthbox platform. So we always go with the necessity para walang sayang sa ginagawa namin. Okay? So Healthbox actually is not only applicable for hospital, okay? Not only applicable for clinic, it's also applicable to any establishment, okay? For you also to have your own monitoring of your people. Okay, halimbawa, example, instead of you using a logbook logbook na manual ka na nag-fill up sa labas, di ba, na may Dropbox ka pa na ipapasok, wala na. Using the Healthbox platform, in fact, dito po pinanganak ang staysafe.ph. Yung ating contact tracing natin, ang mother system yan, ang mother platform yan is si Healthbox. Si Healthbox, ginawa yan, okay, not only for end-to-end health management na pang-hospital, mula sa pasyente, hanggat ginamot, hanggat magbibil, hanggat palalabasin ng hospital, hindi lang yon. Meron siya tinatawag na health monitoring system. Halimbawa, yung mga lugar na may dengue, may malaria. Kaya si StaySafe, hindi talaga siya ginawa pang COVID-19. Hindi. Ginawa namin si StaySafe, kaya na pang dengue yan pang malaria, pang bird flu, pang N1H1, pang foot and mouth disease. Yan yung pagkakagawa ni StaySafe. Kaya nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, ni-revise namin yan. Kaya namin ginawa siya na pang COVID-19. That's why we are the most ready in terms of like, contact tracing that time. So, yun ang Healthbox. Just to give more context lang, ang Healthbox is a self-service din. So in fact, in the next couple of weeks, parang Textbox na yan na you don't need to talk to us. Pumunta ka lang sa website namin. Kung ikaw ay clinic, kung ikaw ay pharmaceutical company, kung ikaw ay hospital, kung ikaw ay laboratory, etc., you can use Healthbox to be your end-to-end patient management to the health management system. So, kompleto yun.
Oh, and what I appreciate here, David, is that, as you mentioned, this is not only for clinics, this is not only for hospitals. This can be used by companies also, or SMEs. As you mentioned, it will track and monitor the health and safety of their employees. So sometimes, di ba, instead of getting a separate software or getting your own Excel, or, it can even, I don't want to use the replace employees, but because it's always aided by human touch. But the good thing about the Healthbox is that it really provides you that kind of information, especially now that we are very strict with the access of our employees. As a matter of fact, even with Open for Business, even with Net25 and Eagle Broadcasting Corporation, talagang that is, di ba, the entry and access, of anyone here at the studio will have to be very strict. Even if we have guests, and nobody is exempted. You have to go through that. And I agree with what you mentioned, that this is, right now, it's health and safety is priority. In all services, as a matter of fact, di ba, when you go to the bank, you go through that, di ba? You have to write something, even when you go to the bank, sometimes it's good that some of the companies that I go to, like say, for example, the bank, or, having this car service at a lounge. I just have to share this, David. So, kunyari, ang dala ko lang was the face mask. Wala akong face shield. Readily available ang face shield sa kanila. You have to pay it lang. But, that is how important now these materials are, because sabihin nila, we really have to implement this minimum health and safety protocol. Pero hindi naman nila sasabihin na, wag ka nang pumasok. Pwede kang pumasok, you just have to buy it. So like say, of course, the viewers now, it is, as David mentioned, this is really a necessity. So in short, you cannot leave your house or your office without bringing this. Okay, now that we have Healthbox, what are the other needs that are available there that cropped up, not necessarily during COVID, that are very helpful to MSMEs, David?
Yeah, ngayon, one of the, because you cannot go out and just send money to anyone, right? That's why we launched our own Cashbox. Actually, Cashbox, our partner, there is several remittance companies like of Cebuana, right? So now, if you have now your salary, you receive that in your e-wallet. Mamaya, I will also explain about that platform. You don't need to you don't need to have the money with you, and then you have to look for any remittance company for you to send the money to your loved ones. Kasi at the end of the day, we have to support our families, di ba? Especially yung nagkatrabaho sa Manila. How could you send money to your wife, to your parents, to your kids without sending them money? How could you survive and how could they survive? So naisip namin, what's the necessity? Now we have to have now a digital cash disbursement system. That's why it's called Cashbox. So Cashbox is a powerful cash disbursement system na pwede mong i-convert yung cash mo into digital e-wallet or pwede mong i-convert yung e-wallet mo into a cash system. So vice versa. So po pwede yun. So that's why this is a futuristic project na meron kami, that it might be the new remittance business in the future. So that wherever you go, wherever you go, whether you use our partners, pumunta ka sa mga convenience store, you can send money. Nasa bahay ka, may wallet ka, you can send money. Meron kang bangko, may account ka, you can send money. Now, you can also withdraw anywhere. Kahit saan ka pumunta, withdraw. Or you can put that in your e-wallet for you to save as a savings later on. So that's the beauty of Cashbox system na launch natin 2 months ago.
Oh, but in this case, David, kaya ako nangingiti kasi is this some sort of a system that tries to disrupt another industry, or is this a system that is also a system for collaboration? Kasi like for example, there are many di ba? There are many remittance centers. And there are many e-cash payment systems. Are you integrating all this into one system, or there is a possibility in the future that it can be the only system that can be used even if I do not go into a remittance center, or I don't go into or convert my money into an e-cash or e-money?
No, we never disrupt. I told you this many times already. So we are enabler. So meaning our customers here are the remittance companies. Okay? They are our customer. We don't do B2C, B2B kami eh. So this platform can be used by, I don't need to mention the name of our partners, but they can use this now to survive in the new normal. Instead of them having their own phone shop or like a certain inuupahan pa nila yon, okay, for them to operate as a remittance business, they don't need to do that. So using the digital platform that we provide, now they can now operate. And at the same time, we are now creating a cross-bridging of systems. Para sa ganon, hindi kinakailangan mag-isa niya. So we would like to, we don't promote a monopoly. We don't want that. We want everyone to be in it. And if this remittance company, once they discover the power of Cashbox, that they can expand their remittance business because of it, they can use it. Diba? And then, walang bayad yun. That's a revenue sharing. Wala kami sila-charge sa kanila. So again, it's a collaborative system na naman yan, Cesar. So it's not even to disrupt. It's actually to enable.
Yeah. Wait, thank you very much for your clarification, because this system now, or this platform, allows everyone to participate. So instead of, as you said, instead of competing with them, you are actually helping them, to grow their business more, and it's easier also for the customers. Kasi ang bottom line dito, the winner will always be the customer. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Can you discuss other necessities and the other solutions?
Yeah, so we have a lot of box platforms, Cesar, but maybe allow me to just discuss the latest platform that we're able to build. In fact, we just launched this only last week. Okay.
Wow. So, very fresh ito. Very fresh.
Yes. So it's called the Buildbox. Okay. So Buildbox is a smart billing and collection system. So meaning if you are operating in the new normal now, okay, you can provide them a SOA or e-SOA or billing. And at the same time, it comes with e-payment at the same time. So example, nag-meet tayo sa Facebook, binentahan kita ng bag, example. Okay? So, I don't need to tell you na, uy, i-deposit mo naman sa ano ko, sa bank number ABC123 para bayaran ako. Hindi. You receive an SMS message. Okay, nandun na yung billing mo, nandun na rin yung payment mo at the same time. Okay? It's a very powerful platform to support the small and medium enterprises kasi wala silang facility. Wala silang gamit na wala silang gamit na machine to swipe their card. Wala sila niyan, di ba? Wala silang e-wallet, di ba? Wala din silang bangko, di ba? We have to provide them a tool for them to operate para makapagbenta sila kahit nasaan sila at makakolekta na rin sila kahit nasaan sila. So the smart billing and collection will replace the paper-based billing system in the future. Example ngayon, ano bang nare-receive mo ngayon na halimbawa, kuryente, tubig, cable, you receive a sobre pa, di ba? Nakasobre pa yon, di ba? Pag-receive yung sobre mo, lalabas ka pa, maghahanap ka pa kung saan-saan ka magbabayad. Now, we're replacing that into a digital billing system na nandun na rin yung payment system mo immediately. In fact, kailangan nyo din ito sa Net25 since you're billing some customers without sending them a bill, a physical bill or an email. So this will be the new platform to support a lot of small, medium enterprises later on. You will hear some good news about the Buildbox platform in the next couple of weeks, Cesar.
And David, yeah, you're right because just maybe 10 minutes before I came here at the studio, of course, finance would ask for the hard copy of the conforme and the contract, and of course they would ask for the hard copy of the payments or as you mentioned, the ISOA. So this is very interesting because again, it's like the transaction becomes very, very digital, and this is something that very innovative that will help really even our the entire process of doing business with our customers. What I noticed, David, is that as you mentioned, you created a lot of boxes. I am now beginning to look at your logo behind you as multi-box, but seriously, David, I know that you were acknowledged as the technology company of the year in some of the award giving bodies. As a Filipino, I can feel and I can sense that all the solutions would really prepare the Filipino companies to be smarter. And I acknowledge the fact that when you say smarter Philippines, you don't just say it as a lip service. These are very, very specific platforms or solutions to really inform the public, help the MSMEs, and help the enterprise to be smarter. My question, David, is this expensive for the Filipinos? Is this a little bit pricey for some of the MSMEs that we deal with now? And assuming it's not pricey, I have to jump the gun so that you can respond in one lot. Assuming it's not pricey, how is Multisys promoting these platforms? And is this part of your vision to really be the pioneer in the software solutions market? And is this also offered not only here in the Philippines, but are these solutions open to the different enterprise and different companies all over the world? Because as we mentioned, any entrepreneur now who offers kakanin in the kanto can already offer that to that customer in different parts of the world. David, your response.
Yes, actually, it's not even expensive. In fact, most of them are free of use. Okay, free of use. You know why? Because we make money from the convenience. Example, if they pay, okay, using digital channels, may konti kaming share doon kahit paano. Why you need to charge for the platform? You don't need to charge that. Okay? Pag may delivery services, we have a delivery fee. Kahit paano na maliit doon. Bakit ka pa kakaragahan mo pa ng presyo pa yung software? Wag na, ipagamit mo na lang yan. Another one is, alam mo naman yung model namin, we let our partners, okay, resell our technology. They can even white label it. So they can use our technology, not an expense, but they can use our technology to become their foundation of new business for them to operate. So it's a model that we are not an expense, actually. We are your partner. So meaning you can use us, number one, to save money. You don't need to hire expensive programmers. We handle that for you. Number two, if you partnered with us, you can make money. So it's a dual-bladed sword that the benefit is a win-win solution for you. You save money because you use our platform. You make money because you use our platform. So saan ka pa, di ba? So para sa akin, I think this kind of mentality, if all the Filipinos, not only multisis, if all the business enablers in the country, they forget about this mentality of competition, mentality of like killing each other, disrupting each other. I think it's all about stitching up the gaps. And then the pie is so big, hati-hati tayo, for us, all of us will survive, diba? So I think that's the model of That's why I really don't like the word, I think, Dave, you're disrupting something. No, we're not. In fact, we are actually enabling everyone. We're giving them something. It might not be perfect. I'm not saying that we are a perfect company, Cesar, but as long as we can help, as long as we have a platform that they can use, okay, for them to expedite the businesses, especially nowadays with the new normal.
Wow, well said, David. Now, before I let you go, because we're running out of time, I think 1 hour is not enough interview with you, David. I hope that we can do this again. But before I let you go, what is your advice to entrepreneurs, especially now a lot of some of the entrepreneurs closed their businesses. Some of them really had problems about money matters, and a lot of them suffered a lot. You know, they really had so many challenges during the pandemic. What are your tips as an entrepreneur to specifically on creativity and innovation? Because with this 1 hour interview with you, I think that is the kind of passion that you feel when you hear the word multisys, creativity, innovation, and the passion of the Filipino. So what is your message to the entrepreneurs who also experienced a lot of challenges during the pandemic and somehow helped them survive and bounce back?
Well, we Filipinos, we are more resilient human being on earth. Right? We can survive kahit anong pandemic ang darating yan, any trials. We are survivors. For me, I'm not even worthy to like advise, because even me, of course, I have also some challenges that I have to face as well. But my piece of advice is we have to make sure, okay, that we collaborate. Okay, we have to make sure that we look for someone that could enable us and look for someone that could enable them. So it's a vice versa approach. You help and then let them help you. So you have to invite that. Instead of you see someone, you copy it, you compete with them. So you will waste a lot of time. Nowadays, it's all about speed. It's all about survival. Meaning, time is the essence. So my humble piece of advice is you have to be partnered with the most ready technology-enabled companies. I'm not saying that only Multisys. There are hundreds of IT companies out there that you can be partnered with to make sure that they will not waste your time. You make sure that they have a ready-made solution, a ready-made platform to use, so that you can start near immediately, instead of you wasting your time to build, something for you to operate in the future. So that's my piece of advice. And lastly, of course, nowadays it's all about, bringing back the bayanihan approach. And I think we need to make sure that we help each other as a business. We need to make sure that we focus, okay, on the value, not only on the value, but on the relevance that you could contribute with the community. Because I believe that money is just second now. It's more on like the relevance of you as a company. If you, as long as you're helping, as long as you are relevant to your community, I think that's more fulfilling than just making money.
Wow, this is really a very, very inspiring interview, David. And thank you very much for sharing your time again. Thank you very much for sharing us the importance of digital transformation today and sharing the various multi-sys platforms, establishing your company as a major key player in the local market software solutions. And thank you very much to the team from your end, Anais and Athens, for arranging this interview. Thank you so much. That's the CEO and founder of Multisys Technologies Corporation, Mr. David Almirol. Thank you for watching Open for Business. Join us again in the next episodes of Open for Business for more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, industry experts, and SMEs promoting business development in the Philippines. See you again every Saturday and Sunday here in Open for Business, where we discuss business information, deliver the latest business news to keep you informed in Open for Business and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. You're on Facebook Live on Eagle News and at Net25 TV, and you can watch us again in the video section of the Eagle News and Net25 FB pages and on eaglenewslive.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Net25 TV. Thank you again for watching for Open for Business. This is Cesar Vallejos. We live in interesting times. Have a great day.
Ngayong